Hey everybody, once again, it is a patron poll video. I'm going to do these every other month. This month, 2 months ago, I believe. Actually, no. Last month, there was also a patron poll. My bad. I'm doing one sort of every month. Except, uh, yeah. Anyways, um, this month is October, and so of course there was a very spooky theme. And the winner of said poll was Lady Death, a comics character by Coffin Comics, of which I own one book, which is Lady Death Merciless Onslaught. I've since looked up other appearances of Lady Death, and I'm currently looking into getting Lady Death Origins because based off of her design, she is one smoking character, and I really just want to know more about her. So, anyways, there's lots of skulls, lots of black, and she's pale white. Her hair is white, her skin is white, so this will not be in colors save for maybe some blacks here and there. The first thing I want to start off is the one thing that I know I'm likely going to have the most trouble with, which is going to be the skulls that adorn her outfit. They're gold skulls, so this will be a very monochromatic picture. But I'll also have, while there's monochromatic stuff, there's also going to be just like, hey, let's go ahead and just make these skulls look awesome. Make them look evil too. Nothing quite like evil looking skulls to emphasize that creepiness factor. Skulls is one of the things that I never really had troubles with, but I never really enjoyed drawing. Like, I don't know what it is about skulls, but I do not get any enjoyment out of drawing them. Never have, likely never will. I could cheat and copy and paste these, but I'm not gonna do that. Mostly because I want to be fair. Because some people actually don't draw digital. In fact, I've actually had people criticize me saying, "Oh, you rely on too many digital tricks," and I'm just like, I wouldn't say I rely on them, but would I say I'm very happy and comfy using them? Absolutely. A lot of people crap on digital art, and I just don't understand why. Like, so you're gonna get mad at an artist for using all the tools available. It's not like I can't draw this stuff on actual paper. It just doesn't look half as good as when I draw digital, and it's specifically because I do not have the tools. I don't have, all the fancy stuff to make it. Maybe I should have copy pasted. But the beautiful thing about digital art is even if you make simple mistakes like this is again like the skull in my personal view is perfect, but it's too small. It didn't match the other one. So what do? I enlarge it a little bit, and there you go. That's how I do it anyway. She's got a skull kind of wedged in between her breasts here. That's gonna be fun to draw, right? I really want to get to know more about this character based off of the what I saw, because what made me pick up the book that I have in the first place was the cover, which basically had her just wielding a sword, aiming it at the viewer. Hot girl aiming a sword at me. It's almost like she's telling me, pick up my book or die. And so I'm just like, well, I mean, I don't want to die, Lady Death, so I'll pick up the book. I have yet to read it, so I couldn't even tell you if Lady Death is worth reading or not. I'll say based off of her looks, based off of her appearances, based off of the way she looks, yeah, it definitely is worth reading. Let's see, got that. Let's fill that in with black, because this is a simple sketch, sort of like an exhibition, something that's not meant to look very crisp. Let's see, let's go again with this. See if that matches up. Does that match up? Yes, I think it does. So let's go ahead and fill it in with black. Well, actually, it's a very dark brown. I learned a trick from a lot of old Disney cartoons, and that is never fill your lines in with pure black unless, of course, you need to for an inker. But since I don't have an inker, like I do all my own work. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add some stuff here. Make sure it looks good. Okay, overshot that. Ah, there it is. That's another problem with digital art. As much as I love it, there's plenty of flaws to using it, which is why I try not to rely too much on the little tricks. Because you do that, you can become complacent, which is why I don't really like complacency. I see too much of that in a lot of artists these days, and it drives me insane. Seeing just how happy they are with mediocrity. I've seen artists who are actually proud of being able to only draw like one or two poses. It's like, yeah, you do those poses really nicely, and it's good for you and all, but you know, I just like artists to constantly evolve, constantly experiment, and not be too happy with just being just good enough. Yeah, I know I probably should be showing the upper, but I haven't gotten there yet. Let's see. Let's draw the. I don't want to say it's a thong, but I do at the same time. It's really difficult for me to say because I'm not too sure. I think this is gonna look like a cool drawing. I personally think anyway. Okay, let me just get. Okay, let me just. All right, I'm gonna get that cape going on. Make it look cool. Make it look awesome. And with the way that I'm drawing this, it's gonna be that the cape is sort of covering her lower half, make it easier on me. So I'm gonna get a thicker line going, make it easier to find that, how it looks. I've always been a fan of like long flowy capes. That's why I've always liked Batman, Superman, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, Edna Mode, The Incredibles." It's like, yeah, you can go based off of The Incredibles, but I don't know. Screw Edna, damn it. If I want to have my characters in long flowing capes, I damn well will. Comic books is where, at least in my personal view, comic books is where realism goes to die. I mean, not even just comic books, but not even just comic books, but like um, all kinds of media, uh, movies, video games, cartoons, stuff like that. Never underestimate, never underestimate the power of a good suspension of disbelief. Which is kind of why I never understand why people get so bent out of shape over the lack of realism in a lot of big budget movies. I understand, getting mad over the lack of variety. That one I can get behind. That one I can understand. But getting mad because, something's not realistic in a fictitious medium, in a fictional medium, it's like, well, I mean, you're playing yourself at that point. Let's give her some black nails. Because a woman called Lady Death, I feel, would have very sharp black claws. This is my interpretation of her, by the way. I probably should have prefaced this video by saying that. Because who knows, there could be some Lady Death fans who actually watch this and actually get pissy with me because I butchered, one of their favorite characters. I promise it's not my intent. I'm not trying to butcher anyone or anything here. All I'm trying to do is just draw a very attractive character from a interesting looking comic series. That's all I'm trying to do here. Let's see. Let's add a little bit of a leg split here so that we can tell that she has two legs, not just one, or she's not wearing like a skirt or pants that cut off at the. She usually carries around a sword, which I like, but but I also cannot draw swords to save my life. It's a weakness, and I'm aware it's a weakness, and I'm aware it needs to be remedied, like yesterday. Okay, that's a lie. You know what? I can draw swords. I'm just kind of lazy with them. Not to mention, this is a sketch video that's meant to not be that long. So, whatever helps this sketch progress much quicker. Like it'd be a different story if I was just working here by myself, not only having to worry about hey this will look pretty cool, right? I mean, in all honesty, that's what these videos are kind of supposed to be. Just me drawing. So why? Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just picky. I'm very picky with how my art turns out. I'm actually probably going to make these lines black. Yeah, that'll look cool. Alright, got that going on. Keep it going on. Okay. I feel like I'm boring everybody. I remember specifically I made one drawing video years ago, and one of the main things that people said about it was that it was a boring video. To which I'm just like, it's a drawing video. It's literally a video where I talk about drawing. I mean, there's not. I mean, I can't really like. What do you want me to dress like a clown or something? I don't know. On one hand, I'd get mad about it. On the other, it's like, could I really get mad? Like, is that something I could? Is that something I'm allowed to do? Hmm. I can see already where I'm gonna have some issues here. That's okay. This is why. Okay, no, don't want to use the brush. Let's go with the straight up pen tool. We'll cut in some whites. That's what we'll do. That's actually perfect right there. Okay, so as we can see, there's some trouble here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get some, get our white, and we're gonna see. If I were drawing for real, this would be white out. If I were drawing in real life instead of digitally, this would all be white out here. Of course, it wouldn't look quite this neat. All right. Okay, no. Okay. I can already hear all the people bitching about how I'm drawing. It's like, oh, you're taking too long. You're taking way too long to draw this. Like, why does it take you forever to draw? It is what it is, honestly. The hair should be fun. Just draw the same, just draw the vague shape of it. You don't have to stay too married to one line. Just make sure that it, looks like hair, you know what I mean? Like I said, this one is not going to be in color because of, first of all, it'd look cooler without color, I feel. I personally feel it'd look cooler without color. Only maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do a little bit of color. It'll make everyone happy. I hope, anyway. Okay. Now let's go straight down for her face. Kind of tapers down to her chin. Tapers down a little bit just like this. Right to her chin. Let's get the neck going. There we go. Alright. Let's give her a nice little nose. Very anime-esque nose-ish. It's kind of how I draw. And the one that I'm looking at doesn't really give her much lip, but she definitely does have some fuller lips than most. I'd equate it to maybe Wonder Woman lips. You know, they're full, but they're not practical joke huge. And of course, Lady Death has that lipstick going on, lipstick thing, so. There's some shines to be had for those lips. For those full pouty lips. Let's get her eyes. Now she has very thick eyelashes. So let's go ahead and hint at those, shall we? And she kind of has evil looking eyebrows. Again, I'm not too familiar with this character. So if there's anybody who's a fan of the character, I mean, by all means, recommend me certain comics with her appearances in them. Because I really would very much like to get into this character as a whole. She looks interesting. She looks awesome. She's hot, which is very, very important to me. Okay. From here, let's give her some. No, let's go a little bit darker on that red. Just a smidge darker. Almost blood red. And then let's give these skulls their gold color. Get them going real good. Too much. And then let's get rid of that gray. Let's see. The inside of her cape is very red, so let's go ahead and do like a very muted red. The color of her cape. Let's make this look interesting, huh? I'd use the select tool, but actually no. Why don't I use a select tool? It would look 10 times better than that. And hey, if Todd the God McFarlane can do it, so can I. Speeds up the process, makes it quicker. One thing a pet peeve of mine is when I'm streaming and I start filling in, like, you know, I start selecting areas. People are always assuming that I'm just coloring everything in blue. Like, I've actually had people say, "Oh, why are you just coloring everything in blue?" You know, I don't like that. I'm just like, well, I mean, I'm doing it because one, I can, and two, why the fuck not? Okay. You know what? Let's go one step beyond. Let's go ahead and just give some basic shades. Just some basic stuff. Nothing too crazy. Let me get the marker going. Promised myself I wouldn't do this, but yet here I am doing it. It is what it is, honestly. Always got to make it look as good as possible. Kind of like those sketches you'd get from an artist at Comic-Con or something. That's how I view it. Let's give a little bit of definition, make this pop some. Of course, those shapely legs of hers. Gotta make sure that you can tell. Okay. And now for the face. Let's lessen up some of that shade. It's a little too dark for my taste. Anyways, let me just sign it in blood red. I think I'll sign somewhere back. Actually, maybe we can go. Yeah, let's do that. Just make this look cool real quick. Let me finish off these lines so I could actually select this whole area. That's a problem with digital art sometimes, is you can never truly select much. Matter of fact, I know it can fix that. I see this technique used a lot, where just a big bold line surrounding the entire drawing. I don't know what that technique is called though. A major problem that I have is I sometimes have no confidence in my lines, which shows. But always got to make it look interesting and fresh. And that's what the big bold lines usually help with. Helps your drawing really pop, especially if you figure out a light source. That's the thing with creating comics. Like, this is not a comic page, but if this were like a comic panel, I'd make it look 10 times better. The line weight would actually differ. I am just spending way too much time on this. I think it's because I want it to really look good. This is literally my first time drawing the character. I've never drawn her before now. Okay, and that just looks odd. So let me go ahead and fix that. With much bolder lines than before. Maybe a little more hair marks. A little more strands. Alright. And then let's see if there's anything else that needs to be selected. Right there. Boom. 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 And then let's add sort of like an aura to sort of just make it pop a little bit more than it already is. Let's see, she's got kind of a again, for all I know, I could be butchering the character. It's like, oh, she doesn't have an aura, you retard. Eh. I think too much in Dragon Ball Z logic sometimes. Actually, instead of that, I could just do clouds. Yeah, there I go, see? I'm over here talking like, oh, he needs an aura of some kind. Nah, nah, nah. Clouds. Because what's spookier than clouds, am I right? Especially clouds that, you know. Let's add some shade to said clouds. Let's go with a very dark color. Let's lighten up our brush there a little bit. Let's smooth them out with the watercolor tool. Let's just get this party going, man. Maybe she's just like revealing herself for the first time. And let's say maybe it's at night, so there's a little bit of a Alright. I spent way more time on this than I needed to. Way more time than I intended. But at the very least, I have an impressive drawing to show for it. Let's put some luminosity. And that's Lady Death, guys. Thank you for watching. By all means, subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to. If not, then, don't. Support me on Patreon. Follow me on Twitter. Do all that good stuff. Just help a brother out. Anyways, this is Joker216 signing off. Thank you for watching, and all those who voted, thank you for being a patron. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for everything. I'll see you guys next time.